Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Market Psychology 101, where we look for value in the markets when there's fear and are cautious when there's greed. In today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at the top altcoins that are available on both Coinbase and Robinhood. I'm talking about Ethereum, Chainlink, Doge, and AVAX. Starting off with crypto fear and greed, we're still in extreme greed. We've been up here for a little bit. If we go to the last year, you can see we've been elevated. This first spike here into extreme greed, that was right when the Bitcoin ETF was approved. After it was approved, there was a little bit of a sell-off, and then we made new all-time highs, and we've been somewhat trending down, but I'm wondering if we're going to get another big bounce sometime soon. We'll see. Going over to the max chart, now this only goes as far back as when Bitcoin and the altcoins had their sell-off in early 2018. January, the first week of January, when that ended, that was when it was the big sell-off. So if we could go back a little bit further, I'm sure it'd be up here. So you see right now we are in extreme greed, and we have been in this uptrend ever since down here. Now, the very bottom of this last cycle was in November 22. If you can recall the Sam Bankman-Fried FTX bankruptcy, that was here, and that's when Bitcoin, it was staying at around 21,000, then went down to like 16,000, and we've been going up ever since. Now, you can see there's only been a couple other times we've been this high. Right here, that was the mid-cycle top in 2019. I'll show you where that is. It was right here. Bitcoin made an all-time high in 2017 of around 20,000. This was a mid-cycle top. I think it wicked up somewhere around 14,000. Here, December 2020, when we broke those all-time highs, that's what this is. Now, when you see extreme greed, that doesn't mean we are at the peak. It's not a one-to-one ratio. The high that it stopped at was in March or April. Bitcoin got to around 65,000, came down. We had like a 50% sell-off. And then here in November, this is one-to-one for the greed to price. This is when Bitcoin at its prior all-time high at around 69,000, and we've recently just broke it. So we'll see how much higher Bitcoin can get if it can keep running up. Just another quick look at the Bitcoin chart. I'm sure you've heard a lot of people talking about how, if you're new to crypto, how Bitcoin kind of moves in cycles, and we're going to see if that's going to happen again, that between each halving, and what a halving is when half the amount of Bitcoin is mined as compared to the cycle before. So here, when we had the first halving, half the amount of Bitcoin was being mined as before, so on and so forth, okay? What this does, supposedly, is it creates more of a supply crunch that drives up demand. At least that's what they say. And so far, on this logarithmic scale, which goes up by factors of 10, and we look at that on TradingView as well in our charting, you can see it reflected here. So we're kind of right in the middle. Something else you might notice is that each halving, we've moved up one of these color zones they have here. And so this halving, the still cheap zone, and it's supposed to be around the 19th or something. Let's see if, sorry, this thing's touchy. We'll try to get on it as close as we can. I'm sure it's, there we go. Sure, it's like watching your grandparents try to use a computer. So this is saying that should that pattern hold, Bitcoin would be between 52 and 69,000, roughly speaking. Anyways, let's see. Just take a quick look at Bitcoin, and you can see here we have this flag pattern forming. We'll see if it leads to a dump. I've seen a lot of people calling for a big dump to somewhere around 51,000, which makes sense. We had this structure in here, or if this flag pattern is going to then become bullish and we're going to shoot up higher. Bitcoin dominance, what this is that 54.5% of all crypto money is in Bitcoin. The reason why this is important, if we zoom out a bit here, is when Bitcoin dominance tanks to the low 40%, like it did here and here, and you can see the dates at the bottom, that coincided with alt season. As you can see, can I show it here? As you can see here. So That's when a lot of the altcoins are going nuts. We've been coming up. Now this trend line does seem to be coming down. Bitcoin dominance on the Heikin-Ashi candle is higher than it's ever been this cycle. So I'm wondering if this is going to be around where the top is. You can see we have a lot of structure here, or again, here's a flag pattern, that could go one way or the other very violently. And maybe Bitcoin dominance has one more stretch up somewhere around this 57, 58% level before shooting down. And when it shoots down, there's what's happened before. There's about 2 to 6 weeks where altcoins are just going parabolic. So keep that in mind. Let's take a look at Ethereum and zoom out a little bit here. So Ethereum, what's interesting about Ethereum, I don't know if you've ever taken a look at the total 3 chart. Now the total 3 is just the altcoin market in general. And if we go over, here we go, crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. It looks exactly the same. So all the altcoins, if you put them in a pot, this is what it looks like. So going over back to Ethereum, it's kind of crazy how that is. You can see on the weekly, we did get with our indicator a sell signal, and we have this somewhat long-legged doji. The body of the candle is up a little bit higher, but it is looking like it wants to come down a bit. Now you see we have the 10 weekly moving average, that blue line right there. And first of all, I'm looking for a close. If this is going to be bearish, a close before this fib level. I believe that's the 618. Yep, at around 33.48. So I want to see the 33.48 or 33.50, just for argument's sake, hold. And if it goes lower, then we're watching that 0.5. So when we go to the daily, you click the year and it shows in daily intervals. You can see we're right there at the 618. Now the daily is showing somewhat of a turnaround. We have a little green buy signal, and it's at the 50. That's this gold line, the 50-day moving average, and right on a fib, and we have a buy signal. So when we zoom in a little, this could possibly be time for a turnaround. But again, we have this little like reverse flag pattern, and we'll see if Bitcoin went down to 51,000 like some people are predicting. I don't know. I'm just gonna try to I try not to be bearish or bullish. I want to, here on my channel, I try my best to remove bias and just take a look at things in an objective way. So we're trying to be as clear with our thinking as possible, remove emotion. But if it did, you can see there's structure down here, the 0.5 fib, we have the 100-day moving average, but this next level down would be around 2,900. Now the 100-day moving average is a little bit above there. I'm wondering where the weeklies are around that level. So you can see right here, we have the 20, the red line, the 20 moving up there. Now you saw on the daily, we have more structure. So we'll see. Now, as far as Ethereum price predictions, should we get a mega bull run? Ethereum, something that it saddens me how few YouTubers and people talk about this who do technical analysis. And I don't claim to be great at technical analysis. However, here's one thing to keep in mind. Ethereum has a market cap of 400 billion. Now, the top stocks in the world, I'm sure you've heard of the Magnificent Seven. That's Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Meta, Tesla. Okay, you get the idea. NVIDIA. They have market caps. The top ones have market caps of 3 trillion, but Google, Amazon, they're around 2 trillion. So when people make crazy price predictions with Ethereum, you have to factor in market cap. Now, Ethereum, knowing that if it were to be up close to near the levels of those stocks, you could say maybe it could do a 3 or a 4x. That would put it at 1.2 trillion to 1.6 trillion. Okay, and that's when we multiply 3 or 4 times this number. So don't get too obsessed with the different numbers, all because AVAX here, a crypto, is at 270 and Fetch is at 270. They have completely different market caps. So when people are talking about buying these cheap cryptos for under a penny, that doesn't mean anything unless you factor in market cap. The market cap might be higher or lower, all because ACH, Alchemy Pay here, is 3 cents. Doesn't mean that it's that factor of times less in market cap than Ethereum, okay? So let's go back to Ethereum. If Ethereum did a 3 or a 4x, so we got 3,400 here, roughly speaking. I'll just do 3.5. That would put Ethereum at 11,900. Okay. Now, one thing we can do with our fibs, and I zoomed out here, when you draw your fib from the high to the low, when you're taking a look in between the fibs, actually, I forgot to do this. Apologize. You want to take a look at the fibs on log scale. So on log scale, we are at the 786. Okay, I misspoke earlier. We are at the 786 right here, 33.77. We want to see the 786 hold. Okay, changes things up a little bit. All right, remember how I talked about those levels before for Ethereum? And so when we go above, when we make new all-time highs, we want to take it off log scale. And I'll show you why. It's because when we scroll up, you'll see that we have more of these extensions that are closer, more available to us. Remember what I said about that 11,900 number? If you look, the 2618 is right at around 11,343. Okay, these would be the two key levels that I would be watching. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, does this really work? Let me go over to NVIDIA really quick, and I'll show you how this works. I did the same thing. I drew my fib. That's this tool right here. You can do it yourself. Draw from high to low. We're on log scale. Now I took the fib off log, and you'll notice we hit these levels. The 1618, fought with it, went up. The 2618, all we have to do is zoom in. Let's throw this on automatic so it looks nicer. 2618, it fought, hit the 20 moving average, went up. I forget the number of the other one. Let's get it right. All these different fibs. The 3618, I thought that's what it was, but I don't want to misspeak. The 3618, oh god. You can see we tapped it twice. We're fighting with it, gone under the 20, maybe we go to the 50 and then bounce back up, okay? But I hope you guys are getting my point. Those are the areas I would personally watch for, okay? Now, is it possible it goes to a completely different price? Of course it is. But those are two key areas I would keep an eye on. And again, factoring in the market cap, if we had this, if we hit this level, 11,343, and we divided it by our current price, 339, I'll just do 3392. That's a factor of 3.34. I'm doing this on my phone calculator. We take that, we multiply it times our market cap, which is 407.7 billion. That would mean Ethereum, if it got to this 2618, would have a market cap of 1.363 trillion. Okay? I could see that. I think for the top altcoin there is, Ethereum, I could see that being possible. Now, as far as the other altcoins, half a trillion or 500 billion, I think, is even a stretch. And we'll get into that. So if you're wondering what the market cap would be at the 1618, if it got there, 7,345 divided by 3,390. I screwed it up. Sorry. 7,345 divided by, I accidentally hit a decimal point. All right. We get a factor of 2.16 multiplied times the current market cap, 407, and we'd have a market cap at around 882 billion if we only hit this level. So to me, that's, either of these levels is believable for me. If we had, Bitcoin dominance tank and another cycle top like we did here. If you're new to crypto, I know it seems unbelievable. I've been in crypto during these two bull runs, okay? After this time, I couldn't believe how high my portfolio was going. Now, it went down pretty quick for what I did sell on January 8th, 2017. I'll never forget it. It kept going down. But as things were going back up, I got back in again, and I knew to get out this time around. So, if you've been dollar cost averaging in like I have in these zones, or if you're brand new, is it the best time to get in? No. Is it the worst time? Well, also no. Not to say there can't be any corrections. As you can see, even this crazy bull run here, there were 40, 30% corrections. So do keep that in mind. This cycle, we've had like 5 or 6, 20% corrections. So do keep that in mind. Try to be patient where you can. All right, next, let's move on to Doge. We'll do Doge, AVAX, and Link. So Doge, remember what I said. Now, price prediction, this is off log. We could take a look at some possible price targets. This 1618 at 1.16 or $1.16 to me would be the max bullish area. That's my opinion. You don't have to share it. And if we take that divided by, we're right at 20 cents right now. That's a factor of 5.8. Okay, what's Doge's market cap? Well, let's go here. Doge's market cap is 26.3 billion, which means if Doge hit that 1618 on the fib, we'd have a market cap of 150 billion. Last cycle, when Doge at its top at around was it 74 cents, it was between 90 and 100 billion, which seemed crazy. I don't know if it's going to get back to prior all-time highs. Here's another thing. There were many altcoins, I remember, in 2021 that did not reach their prior all-time highs from 2017, some of the altcoins that came out back then. So do keep that in mind. All because something's made new to all-time highs before doesn't mean it has to happen again. Okay, so anyways, Doge, let's put this on auto so it looks cleaner, and we'll take this fib and we'll put it on log scale. All right, so what do we got? Here in the weekly, we haven't had a buy signal since down here, okay? And we've just shot up through and we're at the 0.5. Let's zoom in a little bit, and you can see we've come down to the 50 moving average and then only the 20 moving average. This is on the daily, and just recently we had a big daily buy signal and wick. Now the body got stuck right under that 10-day moving average. Wick got a little bit above it, right? So we'll see what it does here at the 0.5. Is it possible this is a fake out like we've had before? Sure, it's possible. Or, are we going to have a stretch like we did here where we moved up, 50%? We'll see. I do like how there's higher lows. And the next level for Doge, if it keeps going higher, level to watch for would be 26 cents. So, Doge back here, when it was hovering between 6 to 8 cents, all of a sudden it exploded up to 19, came down to 14, 22. It's hitting the moving average. Now we'll see if this fib can become support. Right now it's been looking like resistance. Okay, we got above it, but I want to see it stay above it and close comfortably above it. Okay, so we'll see. If not, again, I'd watch that 50-day moving average at around 15 cents. 16 cents is a possible area to get into. All right, let's take a look at AVAX, and let's go to crypto. Here we go. All right, AVAX. Zoom out a little bit. Oh boy. Let's put this on auto. All right, looks like we're already on log scale, and AVAX market cap, Avalanche, you can see here $18 billion, 18.1. All right, now AVAX. Overall, now to me this looks like a stronger looking chart because we have been staying above our moving averages. When we start going below, that's where we look for bounces and for price to settle at either the fibs or the moving average. And again, you can just draw from the prior high to the low. Okay, now as we're moving up, you can draw a fib from the low to the high as well, and you can get zones within zones. I don't want to be too crazy here and overcomplicate it. So we had a weekly sell signal. That's concerning. It wicked down to the 10-day moving average. Now you can see last time that happened, it did the same thing. and it had fib support at the 0.5. Here we're at the 618. So I'm wondering if something similar is going to happen where we go down and it wicks near that 20-day moving average. Maybe the bodies go down, it wicks, and then we had a nice bounce. Okay, and that the 20-week moving average is right around 40. Okay, I know it's like 39 and some change, but let's just say 40. If you want to, if you really love AVAX, you're looking to get a little bit more, you could possibly set a buy order for something around 40, and maybe you'll get some. So that's what I would be looking for personally. As far as if it got more bearish, well, let's take a look at the daily. So the daily, we're at the 50-day moving average, which it's honored quite a bit. You can see here just once since all the way back here in October 23. It's been a while. Did we get down to the 100-day? So if things got very bearish, you'd take a look at the 100-day moving average for sure. And then here we also had, the 0.5 fib as well. But you can see here, even on the daily, it wants to come up, but, we don't want to see lower highs. We want to see a reversal of the trend back up. We'll see if it happens. But going this far under the 50-day, it is concerning. I do wonder if we're going to get near that 100 again, which right now is at 42, so a little bit higher. As far as price predictions, in a mega bull market, where could this thing go? Again, I don't know, but we can take a look at some of these levels. Now, as we get into smaller altcoins, something to know is that it's possible altcoins can blow past all these, and then you have to take a look on a bigger scale. Okay, so what did I say? AVAX has a market cap of 18.1 billion. Right now, it's worth about 50. Okay, so you can see a 10x up here at the 3618. Let's just play with that right now. Okay, let's say we did a 10x. So we'd take 508 right here at the 3618 divided by 48.39, our current price. Yeah, that's a 10.5x. All right, and we multiply it times our market cap. Remember what I showed you guys? Our market cap was 18.1 billion. That would give us a market cap of $190 billion. Is it possible? Sure. Will it happen? Maybe. I don't know. To be more realistic, I might set some targets in here. Even at 230, that's like a 4 or 5x. 370 as well, a 7x. So, 3618 to me would be the max bullish scenario. Like at its very best. I'm not saying the price would stay there. I'm saying it might wick and tag there and then sell down. So we'll see. But here are some levels to look for: 232, 370, and 508. Okay. Last one, let's take a look at Link and close this out. So Link, we're on the log scale here, and sometimes it shows market cap, sometimes it doesn't. Nice. Link has a market cap of 10 billion. Nice and easy number. Link is currently at 17.7. Let's go take a look at the weekly, and you'll see we have some sell signals, and we've moved down. We've wicked down to the 20-week moving average. Now you can see this happened before things started to settle and go up. Now if you zoom in, what you can notice is that this was looking like good accumulation back here. Remember those buy and sell signals we saw before? It was looking like good accumulation. Is it looking like good accumulation again? Well, somewhat. We do have this kind of rainbow pattern here, and we're making lower highs. That is concerning. However, you could say we did something similar back here. We had a lower high, but then we created a higher low, made sort of this wedgie pattern over here. You guys can see it. I hope you can see it. Okay. And as we start getting more coiled up, you look for a move either way to see where it's going to break. So, apologize. I use my Mac computer, and, the finger scrolling. Sometimes I get carried away with myself. All right, going back to Link. as we take a look at the weekly. All right, we've wicked to the 20-week moving average. All right, that's good. Maybe we might get a body of the candle closer to it. We'll see. Going to the daily, what do we notice? We like, or Chainlink likes this 100-day moving average quite a bit, actually. So ever since it started going up, it likes that 50 a little bit, but that 100-day moving average, you can see right here, likes 50, likes 50. When it moves under that 50, it likes that 100-day moving average a lot. So if you believe crypto is still very bullish, this wouldn't be the worst time to get in. Now we have this green little candle, no buy signal yet on the daily. I could zoom in more. We could take a look at hourly. Guys, I try to be as patient as possible in order to remove bias and emotion. So me personally, I wouldn't be zooming in anymore as far as influencing my decision. All right. I would myself, not financial advice, I'd wait for more of a confirmation. Even if the price goes up a little bit, that's okay. But so far, the 100-day moving average has been a key area of support. Now, if it breaks down through that, we have this 0.5 fib here at 16.2, and we have the 200-day moving average at 15.3. Let's see where those levels are on the weekly. And the weekly, well, the 50 and the 100 are way down here. Okay, so we haven't been at the 50 in a while. It used to be the 50-week moving average used to be resistance. So when it broke through, we haven't tested it in a while. And so in a max bearish scenario, let's say Bitcoin goes down to 51K, like some people are saying, all right? What I would take a look at is around a 50% retracement. So that can be, you can go from the wick or the body. A 50% retracement would put us, I mean, we can move the goalposts a little bit, but it is pretty close. What is going on here? Sorry, the mice and the hamsters aren't running on the internet wheel right now. You can see 46% was pretty close to, it's close enough to 50 for me. It's pretty close to this fib line right here and the 100-week moving average. Okay, that's the 382 right there. So anytime there's big sell-offs, if we're going to get a very strong bounce, we move up a ton and then we get a big sell-off and then move back up again, I look for that 50% or around their move. And the fact we have this fib and this strong moving average right here, I'm not saying Link is going to get to 12, but if it did and it showed some good structure or possible turnaround, I would have a hard time, me personally, not buying some. Not telling you to do it because, it's always possible we just keep crashing down. But as far as some price targets, we remember what we did. We have our fib. We drew from the low to the high. We take it off log and we scroll up. And what do we see up here? Okay. Now, Link has a smaller market cap of around 100 billion. So a 10x would make this around 176 and make it worth 100 billion. Yeah. Sorry, my brain's like, I'm thinking about two different things right now. Yes, a 10x would make this worth around 177. Well, you can see right here, the 3618, that's at 179. So 10x could lead us there. Now, I've seen a lot of people predicting Link around 200. And you can see we have the 4236 at 208, the 3618 at 179, the 2618 at 130, and the 1618 at 82. And that 130 mark, if I just take that divided by 17.7, that would be about a 7x. So, we'd be talking about a market cap of 70 billion and a 7x if it hit this level in a very bullish scenario. So, if you believe Link is going to go bonkers and even higher, maybe do a 10 or a 12x, okay, then you can take a look at these fib levels right here. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, any altcoins you want me to take a look at, or stocks, let me know. I'm happy to do that for you. I take a look at many different altcoins available on Robinhood and Coinbase. So comment those below if you'd like to see it. And yeah, I hope everyone's weekend is going well. Take care, everybody.